Heights Emergency?
Yeah, can you please send rescue? I think I'm having an overdose, and so is my wife.
Okay, you and your wife?
Yes.
Overdose of what?
Marijuana. But I don't know if it had something in it.
Okay.
Can you please send rescue?
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 29 years old, and my wife is 26. Please come.
26?
Yes, please.
Have you guys been drinking also?
What?
Have you guys been drinking today too?
No, that's it.
No, and is there any weapons in the house?
No. Please come.
Okay, we're on our way. Do you guys have fever or anything?
No, I think we're dying.
Okay, how much did you guys have?
I don't know. We made brownies, and I think we're dead. I really do.
Okay, how much did you put in the brownies?
I don't know.
Was it a bag? Who made the brownies?
My wife and I did. Cuba, come here.
Okay, get her.
She's on the living room ground right now.
Is she breathing?
She's barely breathing.
Is she awake?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, can you look?
Pardon?
Can you look?
Yeah, I could feel her. She's laying right down in front of me. Time is going by really, 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 really slow.
Okay, well, I'm on the phone with you, and do you know how much of it you bought and put in the brownies?
Pardon?
How much did you buy?
Just please send rescue.
They're on the way, but I'm trying to figure out how much you bought and put into the brownies, sir.
It's probably like a quarter ounce total.
A quarter ounce total into the brownies? Did you guys eat all the brownies?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. And you ate all of them. But how many? Was it a big batch, a little batch?
It was a quarter ounce.
Okay, but brownie-wise, how many pieces do you guys think you guys had?
I don't know. I probably had like a small chunk. Please come. What time is it?
It's 9:37. When did you guys last eat the brownies?
Probably like an hour and a half ago.
Okay, is your wife still breathing?
Yes, she is. She's kneeling down in front of me.
Okay.
I know. We have to wait.
Okay, and is she Stacy Sanchez?
Yes.
What's your name?
My name is Edward.
You're Edward Sanchez? Okay. And did you guys have any other sort of drugs you know of?
Pardon?
Did you guys do anything else today besides marijuana?
No, that's it, but I don't know what was it. The marijuana there could have been something in the marijuana.
Okay. Are you guys on any sort of prescription pills? Do you guys take any sort of other medication?
No, I don't. My wife takes Vicodin, though.
And did she take any today?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, where's the Vicodin?
The Vicodin is, I don't know, it's in our medicine cabinet.
Okay, but how many does she take it on a regular basis?
Yeah.
How many does she take on a regular basis? 2, 4, 8?
Like, I don't know, like 5 a day. Please come.
She takes about 5 a day?
Yeah. Are you coming?
Yeah, they're on the way. They've been in her mouth for 2 minutes. It's now 9:38.
Okay.
And she takes about how many? 5 a day?
What's that?
How many does she take a day?
She takes like, I don't know, like 6.
6 a day?
Like 5 a day. I don't know. We got into a car accident in Dearborn Heights last year.
Okay. And you don't know how many she's taken today?
No.
Okay. Is there any animals in the house?
Is there any what?
Do you have any dogs, cats?
I'll put them away for you.
Okay. Is the front door open?
Yeah, the front door's open. Come here.
Porch light on?
Pardon?
Is the porch light on?
Yes, the porch light is on.
Are there any weapons in the house?
You already asked me that.
And what'd you say?
Yeah. Well, no, there is.
Where is it?
It's in my closet.
Is that in the back bedroom?
Yeah, in the front bedroom.
In the front bedroom?
Yeah. Go on.
Okay.
Come on, Ginger. Where's FD at right now?
They're on the way, sir. Do you guys do this on a regular basis?
No, this is the first time that we've ever done it.
And you've never done marijuana before?
Yeah, I have.
You have, and you've never had this reaction to it before?
No, ever. What's the score in the Red Wings game?
What?
What's the score in the Red Wings game?
I've got no clue. I don't watch the Red Wings.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure this isn't some type of, like, hallucination that I'm having.
Oh, why? What does the score say?
3-3.
What channel is it on?
Channel 2.
It's 2-3 2.
Huh?
It's 2 to 2.
Okay. Please tell your officers they just passed me.
Okay, they just passed you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll let them know, okay? Go outside and flag them down, okay?
Okay, my mother-in-law just got here, too.
Okay.
Okay?
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
From somewhere in Hollywood, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
Top of the world! Top of the world!
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning into the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's at every time of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No! I am your host. Write down our telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio on a sweltering afternoon in Southern California and probably wherever you might be. Or a sweltering evening or a sweltering morning, depending on whether your local station runs our show on tape. Or maybe it's a podcast. You know, the only way to get the show liver than live is to be listening in L.A. during the original hours. That's how you know. I mean, yes, Portland runs our show live, and Dallas runs it for the most part live, but, you know, sometimes, who knows? Not only that, some stations run our show 2 or 3 times a day, including our own home station here in Los Angeles, 97.1 KLSX. You could be listening at 3 a.m., not 3 p.m. or 7 p.m. Who knows when you're listening? I have no idea. But as I stand here, it's hot and sweltering outside. Disgusting. This is a story from, ask your grandparents about it, Time magazine. There used to be this magazine called Time, and it came out once a week, which was part of the problem. Because when this thing called the Internet came along, much of what you were reading in Time magazine was at least 6 days old. This was a problem. But some of you still occasionally see this relic in the corner of a newsstand somewhere, or maybe you visited their website. They went to the web to try to combat that old nasty Internet at time.com. Here is a story from Time. It says, as summer vacation begins, 17 girls at Gloucester High School, 17, are expecting babies. More than 4 times the number of pregnancies the 1,200 student school had last year. So imagine that's approximately 17 out of 600. 17 out of 600, right? It's about 1 in 40. It says here, some adults dismiss the statistic as a blip. Others blamed hit movies like Juno and Knocked Up for glamorizing young unwed mothers. But Principal Joseph Sullivan knows at least part of the reason there's been such a spike in teen pregnancies in this Massachusetts fishing town. School officials started looking into the matter as early as October, after an unusual number of girls began filing into the school clinic to find out if they were pregnant. By May, several students had returned multiple times to get pregnancy tests. And on hearing the results, Sullivan says, quote, some girls seem more upset when they weren't pregnant than when they were. All it took was a few simple questions before nearly half the expecting students, none older than 16, confessed to making a pact to get pregnant and raise their babies together. Then, then the story got worse. We found out one of the fathers is a 24-year-old homeless guy, the principal says, shaking his head. Oh, baby. The question of what to do next has divided this fiercely Catholic enclave. Fiercely Catholic. Yes, where the teenagers go out and fornicate, hoping to get knocked up. These are very devout Catholics here. Even with national data showing a 3% rise in teen pregnancy since 2006, the first increase in 15 years, Gloucester isn't sure it wants to provide easier access to birth control. In any case, many residents worry that the problem goes much deeper. The past decade has been difficult for this mostly white, mostly blue-collar city, population 30,000. In Gloucester, perched on scenic Cape Ann, the economy is always dependent upon a strong fishing industry. Isn't that where the Gorton's fisherman is from? Gorton's of Gloucester. That's right. Somebody should have kept their fish stick in their pants. But in recent years, such jobs have... Thank you. In recent years, such jobs have all but disappeared overseas, and with them, much of the community's wherewithal. Families are broken, says school superintendent Christopher Farmer. Many of our young people are growing up directionless. The girls who made the pregnancy pact, some of whom, according to Sullivan, reacted to the news that they were expecting with high fives and plans for baby showers, declined to be interviewed. So did their parents. But Amanda Ireland, who graduated from Gloucester High on June 8th, thinks she knows why these girls wanted to get pregnant. Ireland, 18, gave birth her freshman year and says some of her now pregnant schoolmates regularly approached her in the hall, remarking how lucky she was to have a baby. They're so excited to finally have someone to love them unconditionally, Ireland says. I try to explain it's hard to feel loved when an infant is screaming to be fed at 3 a.m. Boy. Says here the high school has done perhaps too good a job. And here's the rub, folks. This is it right here. The high school has done perhaps too good a job of embracing young mothers. Sex ed classes end freshman year at Gloucester, where teen parents are encouraged to take their children to a free on-site daycare center. Oh, isn't that lovely? Strollers mingle seamlessly in school hallways among cheerleaders and junior ROTC. We're proud to help the mothers stay in school, says Sue Todd, CEO of Pathways for Children, which runs the daycare center. Well, of course you're proud to do that. That's how you make a living. You make a living putting that daycare center in that school. The school pays you. The taxpayers pay you. If these girls stopped getting knocked up, you'd be out of business. Jesus. Says here, but by May, after nurse practitioner Kim Daly had administered some 150 pregnancy tests at Gloucester High's student clinic, she and the clinic's medical director, Dr. Brian Orr, a local pediatrician, began to advocate prescribing contraceptives regardless of parental consent, a practice at about 15 public high schools in Massachusetts. Currently, Gloucester teens must travel about 20 miles to reach the nearest women's health clinic. Younger girls have to get a ride or take the train and walk. But the notion of handing out birth control pills has met with hostility. Says Mayor Carolyn Kirk, Dr. Orr and Ms. Daly have no right to decide this for our children. The pair resigned in protest on May 30th. Gloucester's elected school committee plans to vote later this summer on whether to provide contraceptives, but that won't do much to solve the issue of teens wanting to get pregnant, says rising junior Keisha Lowe, who was a classmate of the pack makers. No one's offered them a better option. And better options may be a tall order in a city so uncertain of its future. Boy. Well, one thing is for sure. It is time we turn these little sluts into the pariahs they once were. Why do we make it fashionable to have babies? Why do we make it easy for girls to get knocked up, crank out a kid, and then come into the high school and then show the baby off to other potential idiots who will copy what they did? No strollers in the hallways, no daycare centers at high schools. Why are we making it easy for girls to get knocked up and come back and continue in school? Why are we doing this? It's wrong, don't you think?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I just got out from a 2-year relationship, and
I love how guys talk about relationships like it's prison. I just got out of a 2-year relationship.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
they just left me by the side of the road. I just got out of a 2-year relationship, and I had to hitch a ride from the prison.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Why are they making it so easy for these chicks in high school to have babies? Why? You just got to have more pregnant mothers, more pregnant teenagers. Let's say hello to Ryan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Father, good afternoon.
Yes, son.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous for these kids to be getting pregnant, and Jamie Lynn Spears, a 16-year-old, just had her baby this morning, and they said her and her sister Brittany are now reunited, and Brittany's giving her advice. How did two chicks that share a quarter of a brain raise a child? I think it's ridiculous.
It's preposterous.
Shouldn't even have kids anyway before at least 30 so you can actually educate and make the kid grow as a human. How can a child raise a child?
Well, I totally agree.
Blow me up, my man.
Totally outrageous. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Let's say hello here to George on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, Tom. First time caller, long time listener.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I previously saw this stuff where I grew up. I went to because my grades kind of slipped, and I went to a continuation school to make up everything my junior year, and oh my God, I couldn't believe what I saw. It was basically like a high school graveyard. I mean, it was at least between 20 to 30 teenage mothers. I mean, some of them even had 2 kids.
Well, I'm sure that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I would talk to these girls sometimes. I would go, how old was your mom when she had you? And as the old saying goes, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Well, also, if you're in a class full of people who had lousy grades, you're likely to meet even more teenage mothers, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought I was like, oh, man. And all the programs that they do for these whores, oh, man, why do they even...
Well, they make it easy for these girls to be whores, you know? Yeah, bring your stroller to school, bring your baby to school. Yes, we got free daycare for you. Don't worry about it.
I know, it's just, I mean, make it hard for them. I mean, make an example of these people.
When I was a kid, let me tell you something. I mean, I went to high school a while ago. When I was a kid, you never knew that anybody got pregnant. Do you know why? Because girls were ashamed to be pregnant. And if a girl got pregnant, they gave you this story. And the story would go like this. Oh, yeah, Gail went to stay with her aunt for a few months. She had to leave town for a little while. And And you never knew who was pregnant and who wasn't. You just never heard about it. Nobody walked into school with a baby. Nobody walked into school breastfeeding. Nobody walked around with a stroller. There was no daycare. It was a shame. You were a pariah, and that is exactly what girls should be.
Exactly, Tom. We bail these people out too many times. We praise stupidity, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's outrageous stuff. No doubt about it. All right, George, it sounds like you've run out of steam. I thank you for the call. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Sometimes you squeeze them like an orange, you know, and there's just not a drop left in there. You're just left with pulp. Let's say hello to Jim on the Tom Leykis show. Hello, Jim.
Hello, Tom.
What up?
I'll tell you what, who's running this school, Tom? This is ridiculous. You know, I graduated in 1987, and there was one girl that became pregnant during our senior class. She disappeared, you know, a few months into her pregnancy, and that was the last we heard of it. You know, nowadays, what's going on with these people running the district here? It's ridiculous. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and I don't want her coming into this.
Well, I totally agree with you. I think it's outrageous. You know, again, it's not just outrageous because we're making it easy for these girls. But I'm telling you, this is the kind of thing that starts a forest fire. Yeah, you bring one girl with her stroller and all the attention she starts getting. Oh, how cute. When was it born? Oh, are you going to have another one? Are you going to have one like a brother to go with a sister? Ooh. And then eventually the other girls want to do the same thing. That's what's happening in this high school in Massachusetts.
And then, before you know it, they're on our welfare system.
That's exactly right. So the government is all too happy to accommodate these little sluts.
What the hell? Tom, take me out with a bong rip.
Here you go, Jim. One 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Luna on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, you're great. I just want to say you have the best advice. And actually, my name is Luna. I am a dance teacher at Glendale. I have about 300 students. I teach only girls. And I don't want to break it down like this, but most of my students are Armenian. And very rare Armenian girls, very young, they have babies because of their families. Because, I mean, you know, the reason the kids get pregnant is because I think the law, they don't do anything about it. That's why they know they're going to be supported. What do you think?
Well, I think that's certainly true. I don't think they bother to worry about you know, how that baby is going to be supported financially. They assume the parents are just going to pitch in like they pitched in to buy you an iPod or pitched in to buy you that Hello Kitty merchandise. They're just going to pitch in.
Yes, I actually, like... I'm Armenian, and I'm 26 years old. I just had a baby. I mean, I have a family myself. It's really hard to raise a baby, you know. You have to have big-time support. You have to have a career. You have to make money, you know, because you can't just have a baby, just, you know, whatever. And I do, again, you know, I do go to high schools a lot, and I see a lot of people pregnant, and it's pretty sad that they know you know, they're going to be supported by us, you know. We have to pay for that. What do you think about that?
Well, all I know is that noise is driving me insane. Not that I'm saying you should stop it. I'm just saying I don't know how you are a parent. I don't know how you do it.
Actually, I do have I have my parents, my mother-in-law and everybody. They do help me a lot. And I do teach about 300 kids, you know. I'm a dance teacher, and it's not okay with me to see these young kids have babies and stuff, you know, because I am 26 years old and I can't support myself. I have a family, and again, I am Armenian, and very rare you will see any Armenian that's under 20 years old having a baby. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of the education and the families, just they don't let...
Now, are you married?
I'm sorry?
Are you married?
Yes, of course I'm married.
Well, you say yes, of course. Why would I assume that?
No, yes, I am married, and I've been married 2 years, and we just had a baby, and The only thing I'm saying, our religion, Armenians, we cannot have babies unless we're married. That's how we are.
Well, Armenian's not a religion.
I'm sorry, Armenians. So basically, we can't have babies unless we're married, and we can't have babies unless
Yes, but that's also true about Catholics and how many Mexican-American girls and Mexicans in our own community here in Southern California get pregnant.
Yes, I do know that, but I'm talking about, Armenians. We do, 90% of Armenians, you would never hear anyone having babies under 20 or unless they're married. That's a fact. And I don't know what it is. It's because the parents are strict. They don't allow it. They want people, to go to school and before everything else get married, before having children. And that's always something they talk about at home, our parents. So I think it's good if the parents are involved in kids' lives. And if they don't have parents in their lives, obviously they're going to go get pregnant because they don't have any rules,
No, and some the parents try, no matter how hard they try. It doesn't really matter. The girls do whatever they want anyway. Luna, thank you very much for the call.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
All women want to do is break your heart and break your wallet, so hit it and quit it.
Hit it and quit it.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
From Hollywood, I'm Tom Leykis at 1-800-5800-TOM. We're talking about the 16 high school girls in Gloucester, Massachusetts at the Gloucester High School who all got pregnant at the same time in a secret pact. All have babies at once. April on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
What's up, Tom? How are you?
Doing okay, April?
Okay, I have 2 points to prove that, schools are completely supportive of teen pregnancies. My senior year in high school, I had a very high GPA. I was involved in lots of school functions and that sort of thing, and I actually had a couple different options as far as academic scholarships go, and I got pregnant. Knowing that I was going to, have an abortion and have to miss school, I confided in one of my school counselors who, from that point on, called me into her office several times, kind of pushing on the whole adoption issue. And not only did she do that, but she ended up calling my mother and telling her that I was pregnant.
Oh, thanks a lot for that.
I know. And my mom denied it and just said I was lying for attention because she was embarrassed, because that's what you should do if your kid is pregnant, is be embarrassed. I ended up having to tell my mom, and she took me for an abortion. But the point is, it's I went to confide in somebody, and I had already made up my mind. I was not asking for an advice in any way, shape, or form. And it basically rammed down my throat that I was making the wrong decision and that I should definitely give up any kind of, chance at college and just maybe have this adoption and go on a different
Were
route.
you going to a religious school, like a Catholic high school or something?
Not at all.
Really?
No, I was going to a public high school. And the other point that I would really like to make that, I really want somebody to clarify for me is my best friend in high school also, she got kicked out of school for smoking pot outside of school. The police officers ended up calling our school, and they kicked her out because she was engaging in illegal activity. Now, it's to my knowledge in California that if you have sex under 18, that's illegal, correct? Even if it's not with somebody over 18, right?
I'm not clear on all the specifics. For example, I think it's okay if in some states it's okay if the person you're having sex with is no more than 2 years older than you.
But basically, it's like if you go to high school and you're picking on a girl, I don't know if you know anything about this, but if you're a bully and you're picking on somebody outside of high school, you get thrown out. If you smoke pot outside of high school, you get thrown out. So I don't understand why, if you're engaging in these kind of activities outside of high school, they would be condoned inside.
That's a very good point. And the reason is because school districts get more federal money if you have a baby.
That's great. That's a really good idea.
Because they then pay for these daycare centers, and they pay for all of the accommodations they give you to have the baby in school.
Well, I just thought that I would call you because it was a personal experience that, my mother and I were both very shocked and kind of disgusted with the fact that I was called in on several different times for their opinion and then had a secret that I thought was confidential then exploited to my parents.
No, outrageous. Outrageous.
It is. And I would like to be taken out with a bong toke.
Here you go, April. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Brian on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
So let me get this straight. That woman had a baby, told the counselor called her mom, and now that's the school's fault. Never once did she say that she was an idiot for getting pregnant. Sorry,
well, the school should not have called her mother. I mean, you don't tell kids come in and confide in the counselor, and then when you do that, the counselor calls your mother.
Okay, well, here's my opinion.
There should be a warning that says anything you tell the counselor will be told to your parents.
Okay, I understand. Here's my opinion on the whole deal. I don't condone the fact that teenagers get pregnant, but I mean the idiot on your call 2 calls ago who said that now they're going to be on welfare. I mean, come on, what do you want? You want these children not to get pregnant, but now we're past that. They've gotten pregnant. Geez, give them an education and try to get them out of the welfare system. I mean, I don't think the schools condone them getting pregnant, but what do you want them to do? Suddenly ostracize them?
I think, guess what? Back in the days when we ostracized girls who did this, more of them graduated. Less of them got knocked up than they do today.
And that's a proven fact?
Well, yeah, I don't know if there's... What is not proven is a connection or a causal connection, but what is true is the sheer numbers. In the days when if this was something to be ashamed of, less girls did it.
Or less people knew about it.
No, I don't believe that for 1 minute. But you didn't see that many girls getting shipped away either. That was something that happened occasionally.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't.
I was there. I'm telling you, it happened occasionally.
Well, I mean, okay, so beyond that, I mean, the past. I mean, realistically, in a modern society that we're in right now, you got to at least try to educate these girls.
I don't believe that we should make it easy for them.
How do you make it easy? I mean,
by spending money on giving them free daycare in the school, by allowing them to bring their babies to the school where other girls could see their baby and then copy their bad behavior, by allowing strollers into the hallways of schools.
Oh, that's a scary thought, that because you see a person with a baby in school that you're going to want to go get pregnant.
It's happening. It happened in Gloucester High School.
What, because those 16 girls decided to get pregnant?
They all decided to get pregnant together.
And that was, but the plan was, oh my goodness.
There were other girls who'd gotten pregnant previously. We heard about one of them in the article.
I think that's a freak. I think that's a freak in nature right there.
I see.
I mean, there's a school right here by me, Santa Fe High School. They have a section of the school that's for the children who have had children. They're trying to educate these kids, trying to get them going on into life so that they don't just become more of a statistic than they already are. And unfortunately, if a child gets pregnant...
I say they should become more of a statistic. You know why? Because in the future, I'm going to need those 1995 oil changes. I'm going to need my lawn mowed cheaply. And the way we're going to get that cheap labor is for these idiot teenagers to keep knocking each other up. I think it's fantastic. Let them knock each other up, drop out of high school, and then report to my backyard for the shovel in the morning, which I'm going to hand over.
We all need ditch diggers.
Guess what? That's what you're asking for when you get knocked up at 15.
That's not what happened.
That is what happens. That is what happens. Who do you think is digging ditches? Rhodes Scholars?
No, freaking illegal immigrants.
No. There's plenty of people digging ditches, and they're not all illegal aliens, believe me.
People who don't get an education dig a ditch.
Yeah, that's who does it.
You give them a freaking education so they can become a positive force.
Somebody has got to dig ditches. Somebody's got to do it.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, somebody's got to do it. So why make it any easier on morons who want to ruin their own lives?
Oh, my goodness. I mean, are you playing devil's advocate right now?
No, I'm dead serious. I am dead serious. I am dead serious. If these kids want to ruin their lives and they want to ruin their chance of getting a higher education, there's plenty of work for them. And I will drive my flatbed down to the Home Depot on Saturday morning. I'll pick some of you up. You'll all come over. You'll all get little white hats and shovels. We'll put you out to work.
Oh, jeez. It's unbelievable. Well, at least you don't have kids, so you don't have to deal with it, right?
Damn straight. And I don't have kids by design. Because I wanted to be rich.
Dude, you're killing me right now.
I'm just telling the truth.
Yeah, I get that part. Oh.
And you know it's true, by the way. You know it's true.
What's that you get rich by not having kids?
Yes. The reason I am not the guy doing your 1995 oil change is because I did not knock up my girlfriend in high school.
Yeah, bro, but you got rich because you caught a lucky break.
No, I did not catch a lucky break. I did not catch a lucky break. I worked my ass off.
Oh, yeah, right on, dude, and then you got a lucky break.
What lucky break?
You're talking about I don't have to pay for gas.
You think you can do this? If you could be doing this, you would be doing this.
No, bro. No. I wouldn't.
No, not you. You'd hate to make a 7-figure income and sit on a high horse. You would much rather be digging ditches or doing 1995 oil changes.
No, bro, I don't do that either.
What do you do for a living, son?
I'm successful in what I do.
What do you do?
Excuse me?
What do you do?
I work in the movie industry.
What do you do?
I am a scenic artist.
You're a scenic artist.
Yes, sir. I make $110,000 a year.
There we go. And how many children do you have?
How many children do I have? I have 3. My daughter graduates today.
I'm sure. You're 35 and you already have a high school graduate. Is she ready to get knocked up now?
No. You know why, Tom Leykis?
Why?
Because I did it wrong by having a child that early. And another thing is...
What do you mean you did it wrong? You're here advocating it, for Christ's sake.
I'm not advocating it.
Yes, you are.
I'm advocating them getting an education to try to make something of themselves. But, Tom, you got to get this one for me. My kids hate it, but I agree with 90% of what you say, and I will put you on in the car with my 3 daughters and tell them all men want is to get in your pants. They don't want to be your friend.
That's exactly right.
I mean, I might not agree with you on this one, but believe me, there has been plenty of discussions in regards to pregnancy. I mean, and I've been talking to them about condoms, not making the same stupid mistakes, and that their friends who were boys, they don't want nothing but inside that.
That is exactly right. Brian, thank you. Why do I get the feeling he's down the hall? 1-800-5800-TOM, that's our telephone number. Bernadette on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Hi. Well, my opinion on this is I went to high school. I graduated in 2003, and 2 of my good friends got pregnant at 16, had their kids at 17, and it's apparently the best thing that's ever happened to them.
Sure it is. What are they doing for a living now?
You know, unemployed.
Unemployed? And who's paying their bills?
Their mom.
Yeah, well, it's great having your mom support you. Fantastic.
Exactly. They live with their mom. Their mom's paying their bills, unemployed or in between jobs, working at
nothing to be proud of.
Exactly. And I think it's unacceptable having daycare. My school actually had a daycare. They actually had a program where the students could work at the daycare if you wanted to have a career working with children. And I don't think it's right to bring your kids to school. You know, if you're stupid enough to have a kid, then you need to stay home. Homeschool, it's your responsibility to take care of it now.
Yep, I couldn't agree with you more, Bernadette. Thank you for the call. 1-800-5800-TOM, that's our telephone number. Dominic on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Is this Tom? Just kidding, Tom, just kidding. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I almost went crazy in my call when I heard you talking with that Armenian girl about having her family take care of her kids and how okay it is to have children. The reality is, Tom, none of these people have insurance. You know, we're footing the bill. The system is totally overloaded as it is, and they continue to just put the stickler to us. It's time to stop it.
I agree with you, Tom. 100%. Our email address is my name. It's tom@blowmeuptom.com. tom@blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.